Ladies and gentlemen, as we step closer to 2025, many of us are filled with dreams, goals, and quiet ambitions. This year holds promise, not just of external achievements, but of deep personal transformation. Yet, as you craft your vision for what lies ahead, I urge you to consider this. Do not share your plans for 2025 with everyone. Not because your goals aren't worthy, but because your energy is. Too often, we speak our dreams before they've had a chance to take root. We reveal our visions hoping for applause or support. But sometimes, we are met with doubt, envy, or quiet discouragement. Not everyone will understand your path, and not everyone needs to. Some things are sacred in silence. Your growth doesn't need validation. It needs protection. Keeping your goals private isn't secrecy. It's strategy. It's knowing that your energy is better spent building than explaining. Your time is better invested in doing the work than proving your intentions. And your dreams are more powerful when nurtured in quiet focus than scattered in the noise of unnecessary conversations. Let 2025 be the year where your progress speaks louder than your promises, where your results surprise even those who doubted you. Let your success echo in rooms where you once felt invisible. And most of all, let your discipline, not your declarations, define your year. Step 1, team, protect your energy. In the pursuit of your dreams, your most valuable asset isn't money, time, or even skill. It's your energy. Energy fuels your focus, powers your actions, and sustains your commitment when things get hard. And yet, it is also the easiest to deplete and the hardest to replenish. That's why one of the most important decisions you can make for 2025 is this: protect your energy like your future depends on it. Because it does. Sharing your plans too early, especially with the wrong people, can drain your energy before you've even begun. When you speak your dreams into the open, you expose them to criticism, doubt, envy, and unsolicited opinions. Some people will question your vision, not because it's unachievable, but because they can't imagine it for themselves. Others may pretend to cheer for you while secretly hoping you fail. In such environments, your energy is slowly pulled away from action and redirected toward defense, justification, or anxiety. When you protect your energy, you give your ideas room to breathe. You create space for silent focus, where your intentions can grow undisturbed by noise. You learn to trust yourself more, to value your own approval over others' applause. There's something powerful about holding your plans close to your chest, not out of fear, but out of respect for the process. You don't plant seeds and immediately pull them out to show the roots. You water them quietly, knowing the bloom is coming. Energy is not just physical stamina. It's mental clarity, emotional stability, and spiritual strength. When you allow too many opinions into your sacred space, you confuse your inner voice. You begin to question what you once felt certain about. Protecting your energy means being selective with what you share, who you trust, and where you invest your emotional bandwidth. It means recognizing that not every conversation is worth having, and not every relationship deserves a front row seat to your growth. This doesn't mean isolating yourself or being secretive out of fear. It means being intentional. It means knowing the value of stillness, the power of privacy, and the strength in not needing validation. When your energy is preserved, you become more productive, more creative, and more emotionally present. You stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose. And that shift alone can change everything. So as you plan for 2025, make this your foundation. Guard your energy with discipline and love. Not everyone deserves access to your vision, and that's okay. Your energy is sacred, Let it flow only toward what nourishes your soul and serves your future. The more you protect it, the more powerful and peaceful your journey will become. Step 2. Silence builds focus in a world obsessed with noise. Likes, comments, opinions, and updates. Silence has become a rare and powerful form of self-discipline. And in silence, something extraordinary happens. You begin to focus. You stop reacting to the outside world and start listening to your inner one. If you truly want to accomplish something meaningful in 2025, silence will not hinder your progress. It will amplify it. When you keep your plans private, you remove the unnecessary pressure of performing for an audience. You give yourself permission to experiment, to make mistakes, to pivot, and to grow. All without having to explain yourself to anyone. Silence becomes your safe space, your workshop, your lab. It's where your ideas are crafted, refined, and tested before they are strong enough to face the world. In that space of quiet, you're not distracted by applause or discouraged by doubt. You're simply doing the work. Speaking your goals out loud too early often gives a false sense of accomplishment. Psychologically, when we share our plans, our brain gets a small reward, as if we've already taken action. That illusion can weaken our urgency to follow through. Silence, on the other hand, preserves the hunger. It keeps the fire alive. It reminds you that there's still work to be done, and that your focus is worth more than fleeting praise. Focus thrives when it's not competing with noise. Every time you discuss your plans with someone, you invite a new layer of emotional input, opinions, expectations, sometimes even envy. While some people may support you, others may unintentionally plant seeds of doubt. And slowly, your original vision becomes tangled with their perspectives. Silence protects the purity of your intention. It helps you stay clear on what you're building and why. This doesn't mean you walk your journey alone. It means you choose when and with whom you speak. You don't need the world to believe in your dream while it's still in blueprint form. You only need to believe in it yourself and give it the time and space to take shape. Let silence be your strategy, not your fear. Let it be the tool that sharpens your focus and shields your progress from distraction. So in 2025, choose silence not because you have nothing to say, but because what you're building is too important to be interrupted. Let your focus be undivided, your mind unclouded, and your energy undisturbed. Speak less. Do more. And when your results begin to speak for themselves, they'll echo louder than any words ever could. Step 3. Avoid premature judgment. Every great dream begins as something fragile. A whisper of possibility, a spark in the mind, a quiet stirring of purpose. When you share your plans too soon, you open them up to a world that may not understand them. And more importantly, a world that may judge them before they've had the chance to become real. One of the wisest things you can do in 2025 is to protect your vision from premature judgment, especially from people who haven't earned the right to speak into your life. When others judge your dreams too early, they're not always evaluating your potential. They're often projecting their own limitations, fears, or biases. Maybe they once failed and assume you will too. Maybe they never dared to dream and can't comprehend why you would. The truth is, people can only see as far as their own experience allows. And expecting them to understand your future when they haven't walked your path is both unrealistic and unfair to your vision. Premature judgment can crush momentum. All it takes is one offhand comment, one look of skepticism, one subtle laugh. And suddenly you're questioning yourself. You start editing your dream to make it more realistic. You begin shrinking it down to fit within someone else's comfort zone. But your purpose was never meant to fit into anyone's expectations. It was meant to stretch, to grow, to evolve, just like you. And it deserves the space to do that without interruption. Even your closest friends and family may not fully understand what you're trying to build. Not out of malice, but out of habit. People are naturally skeptical of change, especially when it challenges their sense of normalcy. That's why discernment is key. Before inviting opinions into your sacred space, ask yourself, has this person walked a path I admire? Do they build others up? Will they challenge me constructively or criticize me carelessly? Not everyone's voice deserves a seat at your table, especially when your dream is still being formed. There will come a time to share your story, to inspire others with your journey, to lead by example. But that time should be after you've built the foundation, not while you're still laying the bricks. If you speak too soon, you risk allowing doubt to slip into the cracks. If you stay quiet and focused, you'll build something strong enough to withstand any opinion. And when that time comes, your results will answer every question they ever had, without you needing to defend yourself. So in 2025, resist the urge to overexpose your vision. Protect it from judgment, not out of fear, but out of respect. Your dream deserves the opportunity to be nurtured before it is measured. Let it grow in silence. Let it rise in strength. And when it's ready, let it speak for itself, loud enough to silence every doubt that ever stood in its way. Step 4. Let your actions do the talking. In a world that often rewards loud declarations and constant self-promotion, there's something powerfully dignified about letting your actions speak for you. Words can be inspiring, but they are also easy to say. Promises, plans, and announcements can draw attention, but only actions build credibility. In 2025, if you truly want to grow, evolve, and lead, focus less on telling people what you're going to do, and more on simply doing it. When you work in silence and let your results show up first, you build a reputation that no amount of talking can replicate. People begin to notice your discipline, your consistency, and your ability to deliver. You don't need to convince them of your value. They'll see it. There's nothing louder than quiet excellence. In a world that overtalks and underdelivers, showing up with results is a powerful and rare form of leadership. Letting your actions speak is not about being mysterious or withholding. It's about being rooted in intention rather than attention. It's easy to talk about plans when you're excited. It's harder and far more meaningful to stay committed when no one is watching. That quiet commitment, that unseen work, is where real growth happens. Every early morning, late night, and small step forward adds up to something you never have to explain, because it speaks for itself. Moreover, actions reveal truth in ways words never can. You can say you're committed, but it's your habits that show it. You can talk about change, but it's your choices that prove it. When people see you consistently doing the work, even without recognition, they begin to understand your depth, your work ethic, your patience, your humility. These become part of your unspoken story. There's more authenticity in quiet perseverance than in any social media post or speech. Letting your actions lead also protects your peace. You're no longer seeking validation or performing for approval. You don't owe anyone explanations about your pace, your process, or your progress. You're simply focused on building, improving, becoming. This mindset allows you to grow free of distraction and judgment, and it builds confidence from the inside out. You begin to respect your own journey, not because others applaud it, but because you've lived every inch of it with integrity. So in 2025, choose to be known not for what you promise, but for what you produce. Speak less about what you're going to do, and do more of what needs to be done. Let your work echo in rooms you haven't even entered yet. Let your consistency become your voice. And when the time is right, you won't need to announce anything. Your results will speak a language everyone understands. Success, earned in silence. Step 5, reduce pressure and expectations. One of the most common pitfalls in the pursuit of success is the heavy burden of pressure. The weight we place on ourselves to perform perfectly, to meet every expectation, and to constantly prove our worth. This pressure can come from external sources, like societal standards or the opinions of others, but often it's the internal voice that demands the most from us. To truly thrive in 2025, it's essential to reduce this pressure and recalibrate your expectations with kindness and realism. When you share your plans too early or too often, you inadvertently set a stage where expectations multiply, both from others and within yourself. Every time you announce a goal, you invite others to watch, judge, and anticipate results. This can create a silent but powerful pressure to deliver not just progress, but perfection. And when life inevitably presents obstacles or setbacks, the weight of those unmet expectations can feel crushing, leading to discouragement or even giving up altogether. Reducing pressure is about creating space to be human, to make mistakes, learn, and grow without the fear of disappointing others or yourself. It's about giving yourself permission to be imperfect in your process. Understand that progress is not linear and setbacks are not failures, but stepping stones. When you lower the pressure, you relieve the mental and emotional strain that stifles creativity and innovation. You allow yourself the freedom to experiment and adapt without the fear of being judged harshly. Another important aspect of reducing pressure is managing your own expectations realistically. Sometimes, the biggest hurdles are the ones we set internally, expecting too much too soon, or holding ourselves to standards that don't account for growth time or external factors. Reframing your mindset to focus on consistent progress, no matter how small, helps build sustainable habits. It shifts your goal from instant perfection to steady improvement, which is both more achievable and more fulfilling. Reducing pressure also enhances your resilience. When you're not weighed down by unrealistic expectations, you're more capable of bouncing back from setbacks. You approach challenges with curiosity rather than fear, and you maintain your motivation because your self-worth isn't tied solely to outcomes. This resilience is a powerful asset for 2025, as it keeps you moving forward through uncertainty and change. Ultimately, reducing pressure and expectations is an act of self-compassion, a reminder that your journey is unique and that your worth is not contingent on constant achievement. It's about cultivating patience with yourself, honoring the process, and celebrating every step forward, no matter how small. When you release the burden of unrealistic demands, you create space for authentic growth, joy, and lasting success. Step 6. Protect yourself from negativity. Negativity is one of the most silent yet powerful forces that can derail even the most carefully laid plans. It often creeps in disguised as concern, advice, or realism. But its true impact is to sow doubt, diminish confidence, and distract you from your path. As you step into 2025 with clear goals and dreams, protecting yourself from negativity is not just important, it is essential. This protection is an act of self-love and strategic wisdom. Negativity can come from many sources: skeptical friends, doubtful family members, cynical colleagues, or even your own inner critic. When you openly share your plans with others, You open the door for these voices to enter your mind and heart. Sometimes, these negative inputs are meaning but misplaced. Other times, they reflect the insecurities or limitations of those around you. Regardless of their intent, allowing negativity to influence your mindset can erode the foundation of your motivation and belief in yourself. One of the first steps in protecting yourself is learning to recognize the subtle signs of negativity disguised as feedback. Constructive criticism is valuable, but unconstructive or constant criticism can be toxic. It drains your emotional energy and shifts your focus away from solutions to problems. To safeguard your progress, cultivate discernment. Listen carefully to advice, but evaluate it through the lens of your own values, goals, and intuition. Not every opinion deserves equal weight or attention. Creating boundaries around your emotional and mental space is another critical way to shield yourself. This may mean limiting conversations about your goals to a trusted few who genuinely support and uplift you. It may mean stepping back from environments or people that consistently bring you down or fuel your self-doubt. Remember, protecting yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. Your energy and focus deserve respect, and sometimes that means saying no to negativity. Additionally, cultivate an inner fortress of positivity by surrounding yourself with affirmations, mentors, inspiring stories, and communities that encourage growth. When you feed your mind with hope, resilience, and constructive input, negativity loses its grip. Build habits that reinforce your confidence, journaling your wins, reflecting on your progress, celebrating small victories. These acts of self-care strengthen your resolve and make you less vulnerable to external negativity. Ultimately, protecting yourself from negativity is about preserving the sacred space where your dreams live. It's about acknowledging that while challenges are inevitable, the influence of discouragement is optional. By guarding your mindset, you empower yourself to navigate obstacles with clarity and courage. In 2025, let your commitment to shielding your spirit be as strong as your commitment to your goals. Because when negativity is kept at bay, your potential shines brighter than ever. Step 70 growth happens in private true growth. The kind that transforms lives and shapes destinies rarely happens in the spotlight. Instead, it unfolds quietly, in moments unseen by others. In early mornings filled with reflection, late nights spent pushing through doubts, and countless small decisions made away from the public eye. In 2025, embracing the truth that growth happens in private can be one of the most liberating and powerful choices you make. When we share every step of our journey publicly, we risk turning growth into a performance rather than a process. The pressure to look perfect or to impress others can shift the focus from genuine progress to superficial appearances. Growth is messy. It includes failures, setbacks, and moments of confusion. These parts of the process don't always make for inspiring stories or impressive social media posts, yet they are vital. Recognizing that your deepest transformation often happens quietly helps you honor the full spectrum of your journey. Private growth nurtures authenticity. It allows you to wrestle with your fears, challenge your limitations, and explore new possibilities without fear of judgment. In this sacred space, you're free to be vulnerable, to fail, and to learn, all essential ingredients for lasting change. When you nurture your growth away from the noise of external validation, you build a foundation that is resilient, grounded, and uniquely yours. Additionally, growth in private cultivates patience. It reminds you that meaningful change does not happen overnight or through flashy announcements. Instead, it is the product of consistent effort over time, often in moments no one else sees. This understanding reduces the temptation to rush, compare, or seek immediate approval, allowing you to stay focused on your path with calm confidence and humility. There is also a profound strength in unveiling your progress only when you are ready. When your growth has reached a point where it can inspire and uplift others rather than invite criticism or misunderstanding. When your journey is rooted in private effort, your eventual successes carry more weight because they are backed by real, sustained transformation. You don't just show the outcome, you embody the journey. So in 2025, choose to value your private growth as fiercely as you desire public success. Protect the quiet moments of self-improvement and self-discovery, for these are where your true power is forged. Trust that your growth, cultivated in silence and solitude, will one day bloom into a legacy far greater than any immediate recognition could offer. Step 8. Build inner confidence first. Confidence is often mistaken for a quality that others must validate through applause, recognition, or approval. But true, lasting confidence is not born from external validation. It arises from within. It is a deep, rooted belief in yourself, your abilities, and your worth that stands firm even when the world is silent or skeptical. In 2025, the most transformative step you can take toward your goals is to build inner confidence first. To cultivate a steady foundation of self-trust that no one can shake. Building inner confidence begins with accepting yourself fully, including your imperfections, doubts, and vulnerabilities. It's the courageous act of looking in the mirror and affirming your value, even when you don't feel ready or deserving. This kind of confidence does not demand perfection. Instead, it embraces growth and learning as part of the journey. When you nurture this inner belief, you give yourself permission to take risks, knowing that setbacks do not define you but refine you. Another vital element of inner confidence is resilience. It is the quiet strength that whispers, "I can keep going," when circumstances become difficult. This resilience is forged in private battles, in moments of self-reflection, and in the daily choices to show up even when motivation wanes. The more you rely on your inner confidence, the less you depend on external praise or reassurance. You become your own strongest supporter and your fiercest advocate. Moreover, building inner confidence first allows you to move with clarity and purpose. When you trust yourself, you don't second, guess your decisions or get lost in the noise of others' opinions. Instead, you make choices aligned with your values and vision, free from the fear of judgment or failure. This clarity is a compass that guides you steadily toward your goals, even through uncertainty. Importantly, inner confidence fuels authenticity. When you believe in yourself deeply, you no longer feel the need to wear masks or seek approval. You become comfortable in your own skin and open to sharing your true self with others. This authenticity attracts genuine connections and opportunities that resonate with your purpose, rather than superficial validation. So in 2025, commit to building your inner confidence before seeking external validation. Feed your mind with affirmations. Celebrate your small wins, learn from your mistakes, and surround yourself with positivity. But always remember that the most important source of confidence lives inside you. When your inner confidence is strong, no external circumstance can shake your belief in the incredible person you are becoming. Step 9. Trust the process. In our fast-paced world, patience is often in short supply. We want immediate results, quick wins, and clear signs of progress. But the truth is, meaningful growth and lasting success rarely follow a straight path or happen overnight. One of the most essential mindsets you can cultivate in 2025 is to trust the process. To believe deeply that every step, even the difficult or uncertain ones, is part of your journey toward becoming better. Trusting the process means understanding that growth is not always visible or linear. There will be moments when you feel stuck, when progress seems slow or non-existent, and when frustration threatens to overwhelm your motivation. These are not signs of failure, but of transformation. Like a seed buried beneath the soil, your efforts may be unseen for a time, but underneath, something powerful is taking root. Trusting the process allows you to lean into these moments with patience rather than panic. Moreover, trusting the process requires surrendering control over outcomes you cannot dictate. It means doing your part, showing up consistently, putting in the work, making intentional choices, while letting go of the anxiety about how and when your results will appear. This balance of effort and surrender is a profound act of faith, one that builds resilience and peace of mind. When you trust the process, you open yourself to unexpected opportunities and lessons that may not have been part of your original plan, but are vital for your growth. Another important aspect of trusting the process is embracing learning over perfection. When you focus too much on the end goal, it's easy to overlook the value in each step along the way. Each challenge you face, each failure you encounter, and each moment of doubt is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and become stronger. Trusting the process means valuing the journey as much as the destination and recognizing that the skills and wisdom you gain along the way are what truly shape your success. Trust also connects deeply with self-compassion. There will be times when you falter, when setbacks test your resolve, or when progress feels painfully slow. Trusting the process means treating yourself with kindness during these times. Recognizing that growth is messy and imperfect, just like life itself. This compassionate mindset helps you avoid the trap of self-judgment and burnout, allowing you to keep moving forward with grace and determination. Finally, trusting the process is a commitment to long-term vision. It is a promise to yourself that no matter the obstacles or delays, you will not give up on your goals or your growth. When you nurture this trust, your journey becomes less about frantic achievement and more about steady evolution. You begin to see every day as an opportunity to build the future you desire, confident that, in time, your efforts will culminate in something truly remarkable. Step 100, celebrate your progress. In the pursuit of growth and success, it's easy to become so focused on what's next that we overlook how far we've already come. Yet, celebrating your progress is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a vital part of sustaining motivation, building confidence, and reinforcing the habits that lead to lasting change. In 2025, make it a priority to recognize and honor every step forward, no matter how small it may seem. Celebration fuels momentum. When you take the time to acknowledge your achievements, you send a powerful message to your brain that your efforts are worthwhile and effective. This positive reinforcement encourages you to keep going, even when the path feels long or the challenges feel overwhelming. Each small victory is a building block, a signpost that you are on the right track. And celebrating these moments helps you maintain focus and energy. Moreover, celebrating progress nurtures self-compassion. Growth is rarely a straight line. It often involves setbacks, mistakes, and detours. By recognizing your successes along the way, you remind yourself that effort matters just as much as outcome. This acknowledgement helps soften the harsh self-judgment that can creep in during difficult times. It fosters a mindset of kindness toward yourself, encouraging resilience and the courage to keep moving forward. Another profound benefit of celebrating progress is that it cultivates gratitude. When you pause to appreciate what you've accomplished, you shift your perspective from scarcity to abundance. You begin to see the growth you've made, the skills you've gained, and the challenges you've overcome. And this perspective creates a sense of fulfillment and joy that fuels further progress. Gratitude becomes a powerful companion on your journey, transforming work into meaningful purpose. Celebration also connects you with your values and vision. Each milestone is a reflection of your commitment to becoming better, living your purpose, and honoring your potential. When you celebrate, you reaffirm why you started and what you're working toward. This alignment with your deeper motivations strengthens your resolve and keeps your goals grounded in meaning, not just achievement. Finally, celebrating your progress is an act of empowerment. It reminds you that you are capable, that your efforts matter, and that your journey is uniquely yours. By honoring your growth, you build confidence and cultivate a positive mindset that propels you toward even greater heights. In 2025, let celebration be your fuel, a radiant reminder that every step forward is a victory worth cherishing.